Alright, so we're setting it up. It is connecting to YouTube right now. Alright, so it's connecting to YouTube right now. Just another minute or two and then we'll go ahead and start. Alright, so it seems to be popping up. Let's see. Alright, so what this is going to be is this is going to be the first of many to come streams that we will be doing. We'll be going over things like swings, technical analysis, but today we're just going to do a quick overview of entries and exits using simple indicators, support, resistance, volume, and using simple charts. Alright. Just getting everything in order. Alright, so what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to review a couple plays that you all might have that you might have had this past week, including ASNA, DCTH, MAC, Naked, any type. So what we'll do is I'll go into the main chat in Discord, and I'll go ahead and talk there so you all can talk back, or you can just type in the main trading room any questions that you have about your previous entries and exits. We'll go ahead and knock this out, and this will kind of evolve as well into a platform for us to do like a stocks at dark, and what we can do is we can go over plays earlier in the week and whatnot. So I'll go ahead and join that chat in Discord, and I'll also be on here as well as long as there's no echo. All right, can everyone hear me? All right, good deal. Let's see. All right, so I'll go ahead and start it off myself on a play that I entered this week, and then we can go over some of yours, and I'll show you exactly what I did, as well as some of the plays that you can show what you did, and we can see if we can get any better entries and exits, so you can make the most profit and make the best out of what you're doing. All right, so one of the plays I did that I'll pull up. Let me go ahead and fix a little bit of this stream. I can pull off some of these. All right, let me go ahead and fix some of these charts. Actually, what I'll do so I will make another chart, either a 1 minute or 3 minute, probably 15 minute, so we can look towards the future as well. So let me go ahead and put on this 15-minute chart. As well as add an entirely new chart. If it would pull up. Well, shucks. Try this. See if it'll let me pull up the website. We'll pull up this charting website. Let's see. Okay, it does. All right. Just making sure everyone's kind of piling in on the views. Not trying to start without too many people, but what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to record this so you can check it out later. Let's see, let the last ones kind of pile in, and we will start. All right. Alright, so what you're seeing on my screen, this is just tradingview.com. It's just a free charting site. It has all the tools and everything that you can use, and it's just a pretty cool way to, break down a chart and whatnot. Alright, so let me make sure this is right for the 8th. Alright, so here we go. Let me pull up the other one and we go ahead and show you what I did on this one and what I saw, and just using the most simple of indicators, and then next week we'll go over more of the VWAP, MACD, RSI. We'll get into the basics of those, and then each week we'll kind of progress into more and more indicators. We'll go over the cloud. We'll do everything that, whatever y'all are most interested in. We'll kind of take that into account and just keep going with those. All right. So, I don't know if you can see on my screen on the 15-minute chart what you have over the past 5 days. You can see where it kind of dipped into, and then it had a little rise up into after hours on Thursday, and then kind of followed through with that on Friday. You can see that it does have some volume in here. Pre-bell just 10,000 on the 5. Oh, on the 15. Let's see. All right, we're gonna go ahead and go to the 5 and kind of break down my entry point, what I saw, and how I went into it. So on Discord, I was playing one of my plays. I saw this chart, pick up volume throughout the day. It had a major spike coming in after the bell. You can see it broke up to 175 here on my screen, and it had its little drop down right here to 169. I saw it have another spike right here, and it came down, kind of followed that same pattern with a run dip. Now this is come to be, when I was looking at it, this is almost an hour 20 minutes post bell in this area. I saw it break down here, get some consolidation for 10 minutes, and that's when I thought 172, which it actually turned out to be the bottom, the actual built support for the day. Got real lucky. Called it out on Discord and the StockTwits what price I was getting in at. It was 172. I didn't get in right here on the first dip because it could have kept going down to 170, 169, and then broke down to where it had its bottom from the previous run at 169. But after it gave me 10 minutes at least, I don't like to enter stocks with just, unless it's complete momentum, like DCTH or something that's just running, blowing up the scanner, whatnot, then, I will enter it, put a tight stop loss, take down my hesitation of should I do it? Should I not? Oh, it keeps on running. Well, let me get in. Well, I don't know. Oh, it keeps on running. Now should I get in? And then you're stuck holding the bag. I mean, that's exactly how it happens. You're going to end up buying way too high, unless it's a multi-day runner. Then you just lucked out. I mean, just to be honest. But right here, what we have is it comes down, breaks, gets some consolidation on for, you can see right here, you got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and about 20 minutes or so, and then it goes up to 173. So that more than satisfied me. So I got in about 15 minutes later. It spiked up to 176. You can see it came down 175 until it dropped right back down to its previous support. So if you missed the call of when to get in on that 72 when it broke up to 175, you could have put a great buy-in at the intraday support of 172. If it didn't pick it up, that's fine. If it did, then you're good to go. You've got a built support with some consolidation. You can see right here the big spike that happened. Volume just exploded for whatever reason. Let's see if we can pull up the level 2 and then go through the history. Didn't plan on it. Let's see. No, it doesn't look like it. That's one of those plays that if you miss the call and then I'm sitting there like, oh, 175, it jumped up and you're like, oh, should I get in? What I would do is I would go ahead and put that buy order at the 172. Like I said, if it picks you up, great. If it doesn't, you can always find another play. Not all of them are going to go ahead and have some insane gap up like this one at 175 all the way up to 192, 193. I ended up missing the 190s. I put in a sell at 189 and I got picked up on the hike, and I'm guessing a lot of people had theirs in between this gap of the 188 and 189 point, and then you had that interval of the 10 cent of 190, and it looks like it kind of filled everyone. It now came down. It's kind of following a trend throughout the day. This is what shows a healthy chart, or one of a healthy for run, dip, pullback. You've got your beginning to where it's running, small dip, bigger run, bigger dip, and then it kind of consolidates through here. Keeps in, holds the support that it picked up right here, comes down, and then gaps up. Just gaps up from picking up the buy orders that probably had their buy orders set on the level 2. You can check that there was probably 172 is because they saw the previous support, kind of like what I did. I know some of the people were saying that it was an ugly chart or whatnot, but it looked good to me, especially with this new bill support and everything that I was talking about. It comes up, you have a break of 180. So this was the initial break. You can see the resistance point. You can kind of see where the candle, this is over time right here. This is going to be 10 minutes, or 10 minutes for the 2, but 5. So that's why you kind of see that. So it broke up to 180, and you can see where that resistance point is that it took time to break through. Not much, obviously, but and then you've got your previous high right here. If you can see on the screen, this is going to be your resistance that it broke up to but could not break. So with that break of resistance, then you have that extra gap up that followed with exactly on the built support. So I mean, this is as clear as day. That's what's good about this chart. It kind of shows exactly what I was looking at and what you should look for. You have your built support, like I was saying. You have your some consolidation over 10 minutes. You have some volume checking in the 3Ks and rising. Previous higher than right here at the 1.5. Obviously, you have the big run 88, and then you have the drops, and then it kind of sits around, hangs around support, which is great. Then you have the breakup This is a perfect example of you have your 2 points, you have your resistance. This is just simple charting, your resistance and your support with the break over picking up the orders at support through the break of 180. Then you have a 10 cent to 13 cent gap all the way up until it comes back down, and then now you can see right here on my chart, now it's got a new support point. So now for Friday, it built up. If this was a longer day, if this happened earlier in the day, 180 would be your newly built support. Then you would have your 172 as a bottom, get the heck out. It's probably heading down towards a downwards trend. But right now, so going into Monday, it's going to be a little bit different with volume being a lot scarce in after hours and pre-market. You're going to see if it can keep up that support or whatnot. And a lot of times support and resistance will get broke through in after hours because the orders are such scarce. It can cause easy breaks or easy breaks of either support and resistance. So that's one thing that you're definitely going to have to look into your volume for that. Relative volume, 5-minute volume, whatever you're looking at, even the 1 minute on those types. So let me go ahead and move around. So you have this 180 as a new built support coming down from its second gap, third gap, I guess if you count the bell. So this is one that I'll be looking at Monday. Trying to keep that 180 support. If it does break down in pre-markets, let's say it opens up Monday at 174, what would I do? I would put a buy order for 172 or even 169 at the bell, because you will have that. A lot of times you'll have a shaky bell where it, finds out who the bears or the bulls win the bell, and find out which direction it'll go. I'll be checking the level 2, and as long as and let's say it is 185 still, then I'll be creating another buy order at around 179 for a spring break of this newly built support. Since it's not completely strong, but it did kind of 20 minutes or so to the end of the bell, then that's when I would keep that, and I will be on that Monday for you all to see. Alright, so that was a little bit long talking about that one play. But do any of you have any plays that you would like to go over, so we can kind of look over it, find better plays? If you'd like to know about any kind of support, resistance for any of the plays, or we can even look into after that plays that you have upcoming for this week. So if you want to, you can just say something in the Discord main chat, or you can type it into the main chat. We are all here to learn, so I mean, even if it's a bad entry and exit, there's no judgment here. Plays for this week. Okay, yes, we'll get into a couple plays for this week, and I was going to show y'all some of the upcoming bio plays for this week as well. I couldn't hear you, Pajama Rich. Hey. Alright. Thoughts on XBI or semis? Do you mean XBIT or XBI? Monjair, XBIT or XBI? Biotechs and semis. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we'll go over some of the biotechs that are coming up that I was looking at that have some PR coming out. So we'll go over that in a little bit. if anyone doesn't have any entries or exits that they'd like to talk about. Alright, so I guess we'll go ahead and get in that. If no one. Last call. Which one?
DXTR.
DX. Oh gosh. Okay.
There's a lot of people in that one.
Yeah. DXTR. Let's go ahead and pull it up. That's one that I've kind of been shaky on for a while. It's had that 18 support bust up to I think the highest it ever got was 26.5. It was its major resistance. Let me go ahead and pull it up. We'll kind of look into it. Oh gosh, not registering right now. All right. Nice intraday chart. You can go ahead and see some of its supports and whatnot. Let's go ahead and pull up this daily though and go over it real quick. You get into the stream, make the daily. Alright. My Facebook is all out for you all. Alright, let's see. Alright. Go ahead and get that done. Alright, here we go. Alright, so you can see in DXTR, we'll go over the daily first, and what we see coming up for this week. So right here, go ahead and, alright. So right here, let's go ahead and scroll back some. Alright, it looks like this thing has just been horrendous for the past year and a half. Just nothing but downtrend, perfect short. I know when it gapped down this last time, as you can see, around the 13th of May, you have the gap down to 20 cents, and then it just continued down in the 19.5s or whatnot. It's kept a support, it says around here, but ever since June, it's kept a support of 18, with the end of May in the 17.5s, high 17s. You did have this breakup. This is exactly what I was talking about. You've had a couple breakups, as you can see just here on the daily. You've had this breakup to 26.5, gap down till the 1st, and had another break to 26.5. Those are its major resistance points. If it breaks 26.5, then this thing is probably going to fly. I wouldn't give anything too unrealistic, but I would say it's going to fly at least to 30 until it tests that interval of 30. And then if it breaks 30, you're looking at testing 35 plus. So I would definitely look at that 26.5 to 27 max resistance point to look to go any higher. Anything right now above 18 is anything at, around, or under 20 is going to be a good buy for this stock. It's kept up this point for a while. I know that Monday, I believe, what is it, the 501k coming up? You see a rebound for the tech stock or continue bleed? Any particular tech stock? Oh snap, that hurts. Are you in any particular tech stock? But no, until he answers that, for DXTR, like I was saying, anything above that, below 20 or are at that is going to be good. We're all going to find out Monday. I believe the news is supposed to come out Monday, maybe Tuesday, but I'm pretty sure Monday. It's a stock that I really haven't kept up with much because I've really not been a fan of it. So I haven't done anything with it pretty much. It's a real scary stock. I see it go on a run up here to 24. I see people buy all the time, and then they're sitting there holding it for a month or two. And I've just had so many stories of people getting bad entries on it, because they think this is going to be the time that it breaks. This is going to be the time that it breaks. This is the pre-PR Momo, so it was a good time to buy. You've got your 1819s down here, the end of Thursday, and then you have your gap up. This is a chart directly towards this PR press release momentum. You have your support right here at 19. It looks around 19.6. You have the bell support, goes back up about an hour later, 50 minutes later, you have it test that same support. So this is exactly where your support will be, right here. Then you have your previous support, obviously 18, like we were talking about, but this would be your intraday support right here. It tested it twice. This would be a double bottom right here. It tested it, came up a little bit, dropped down, and then shot back up. You can see for the rest of the day. Towards the end of the day, pretty much midday on, you've got your 1230 right here. Midday on, it was just completely bearish. It's good to see that it did hold above 20 for the day. And obviously it's at 22 after hours. So what I would say is I would put a buy on this at 20. If you're already into it and you're holding, through the Monday news, then there's really nothing you can do. With news, this thing, because of all the stock twits, let's see if it'll pull up. There's a lot of stock twits momentum on this stock. All these chat pumpers and everything like that, they've been pumping this stock for months now. They've gotten a lot of people into it. So that's why I've always said be careful on it. But with this news, any news on a small penny stock is going to make it skyrocket. And that's exactly what can happen Monday. So it's kind of like a crapshoot, but with good news, this thing could go. Yeah, you see stock twits down here. I don't know if you can see. No, I don't have it pulled up. All right, let me go ahead and pull this up. All right, let me go ahead and pull this thing up. As you can see right here, you have your stock twits increase of 706% on the bottom right. If you can see on the one that I just pulled up. So with that, I believe you all can see it. So this is one that's kind of been pumped on there. It does have cash, but it has more debt. As you can see, it's got 2.49 million cash. It's got more debt than it does cash, with its revenue under its current debt. Its quarterly was down 41%. That's obvious because the stock has been doing nothing but drop for the past year and a half. It's really had no signs of reversal at all, and it's never even really had a strong support, which it looks like it's forming now. As you can see, if I can pull this up, this might be the stock's actual bottom. I hope so, because it could really, get that 40-cent, 100% gains for people. So I'm really pulling for Monday. It's definitely one of the stocks that are going to be on top of the list to watch, along with another small penny mover, that DCTH. Another couple reversals that we've been talking about is AEZS and MAC, M-A-C-K, along with ASNA, A-S-N-A. I kind of went over that one Friday. All right, so that's kind of what I think about it. You're going to want to buy at 20 or below, with 18 being your bottom break. If it breaks below 17.7, then, I'd run for the hills for sure, because it might be a slow bleeder like DCTH did for a while, with a bunch of people pushing it, but no real stats or anything behind it. But we'll all find out Monday whenever the news publishes. All right, so let's see. CYTR, and XXI. Okay. Curious about Steel X, and for the hell of it, Galt. Okay, if there's time. See a rebound for the tech stocks. 5 to 8 was a pretty strong correction. Let's hope they keep going. Got an AVR at 55. Haven't exited. I bought in after the initial break. 60 with 55. I don't know how. Good job, Sweetha. Yeah, I think a lot of us got into Aver and exited. But okay. That's one for entry and exit. So anyone else? It's pretty much just questions. I'm gonna go ahead and go over Aver right now because the Lee Kim is actually in it. So we'll go over that one first, and then I'll answer the questions about steel, CYTR, XXII, and some of those tech stocks. All right, so we've got Aver. Got your stock twits up. Well, that's because of the gap up, obviously. Current depth's only 400K when you've got 37 million cash in hand on deck. Quarterly was down. Must have had a bad ER, but it's 7%. It's not too shaky. Revenue 9.3 million. So they've got some money coming in, which looks nice. Alright, so let's go ahead and pull it up. Alright, the screen's frozen. No, it doesn't look frozen. Alright. Oh, you're still seeing DXTR, huh? Oh, man. I wonder if YouTube's just got a bunch of lag in it. Let's see if you can see it. Okay, it's not frozen there. You should be seeing AVIR onto your screen right now. Okay, it's just taking a little bit. Yeah, that lag's gonna hurt during market hours. So if you're watching this stream during market hours, you're not gonna want that 20-second lag or 1 minute, 2 minute lag or whatever it is. So I definitely recommend getting on Smashcast. It's supposed to have a lot less lag time. So that's something that I would definitely look at. Because while I'm pointing out these charts, I'm showing you on the chart exactly. I'm moving my cursor exactly where the support and resistance points are. And if you're not seeing them when I'm doing it or what to look for, then you're going to kind of be lost of what I'm kind of talking about besides just hearing what I'm saying. All right. Sorry, needed a drink. All right, so Aver we got right here. I think you said you entered at 55. When did you enter that? Did you enter that Friday? In what time? It looks like there was only 2 times to be able to even enter that. It was probably during this first run up, I'm guessing. Because you would have bought the absolute break of, after the gap down, the break of resistance point to have any type of possible run in the future for the rest of the day right there. Looks like it tested that point only 1 time throughout the rest of the day. But here, so you would have your support. This is after the day started. Obviously, you have a previous support from 9:45 and under. You would have a previous support, and that would even go into Thursday as well. But we're just talking about intraday here. So you would have your built support, lowest point being 51, and then you have 4 touches. It looks like around 51. We'll say 8. We can go ahead and check here and let's see if it pulls it up. No, so we'll say 51.8 would have been your 4-point touch support on the intraday. We'll go ahead and call this. Okay, we'll be switching to Smashcast. All right. Alright, we'll fix y'all up on Smashcast. I'll go ahead and put in all the details. What you're going to want to do is make it a create account, and then if it's still not pulling up, you're going to search Evolution Trading. That should pull you up right to the channel. Alright, so you got in 55. What do we see for the future? And what point should you buy, get in, or should you even get into this stock? So you have your break under support here. You obviously, it's at 50 right now. This is going to be kind of your median for the day before from its bounces from 48 to 51. You can kind of see this channel right here. You got this channel of 48. This is going to be pretty much the median of the stock. You got this 48 to 51 right here. It's kind of stuck in this medium over the past couple of days. 1, 2, yeah, past couple days, and then you can see one, 2, 48 to 51. Then you can kind of see it's dropped down to 45, with a 45 to around 48 being the medium, with 45 being the break. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So where would you want to get in, or where would you want to get out? Alright, so I would say you definitely would not want to be in this stock, obviously, but since you are, 55 was a bad point. How can you fix this? What should you do Monday? Alright. So, let me look at a couple things, and I'll tell you. Just trying to get a feel. All right. So we are at this gap down. It has been nothing but on a bearish trend. It did try to turn around back in September, but nothing since. Okay. But good news is since around the 2nd, it started somewhat of a reversal trend. But to be honest, it looks like the high was 64, the low was 48, and it closed at 50. So, and it opened at 50. So it opened where it started. It looks like it's completely on a bullish trend, but it's only been on that trend since Monday, since this entire past week. And as you can see right here on the daily, you have 44 one day, 46, 47, 48, 49, and then now 50. So I mean, it's only going up a penny a day, even though that it's hitting 2 to 3 cents positive. So what I would say is, if it breaks that trend, so the past week it's been on a 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. So if you don't see 51 come up tomorrow, if it breaks that trend of a penny to 2 pennies a day, then you're definitely going to want to get out. So if you get a bearish close of, let's say it even stays at 50, depending on what it does, if it kind of keeps up, builds some accumulation up with the volume, consolidates, then that's okay. Then I would stay into it. But if it kind of goes up and down tomorrow, and is real wishy-washy and real volatile, then I would definitely get out. But if it gets some consolidation, accumulation tomorrow, I would definitely stay in it if it closed at 50. But what you're going to want to see is a close tomorrow at minimum to think about holding this until you get your money back or more, would be a 51 close, and to keep that trend throughout the week. You'd want to see obviously more than that. If it breaks down to say 49 pre-market, I wouldn't too much get in a big fuss or anything. But if it does break that below 48 mark, it's just time to go. It's definitely time to exit. That's what my stop loss would be at. I'd probably put it at around 47.9. You're already at 50. I would not set a stop loss at the bell because I don't know if you've ran into this before, but setting stop losses at the bell whenever a stock will test the bulls and the bears. So you can see right here on Aver on the 5-minute, you can see that it hit 51 and it hit 48 in the first 5 minutes of the bell. So let's say if you would have had a sell limit coming off Thursday at if you would have had a stop loss say at 48, then you would have automatically got sold out when you could have just as well put a sell limit at 50 or 51, for instance, and got picked up. So you're going to go ahead pretty much anytime you set a stop loss at the bell, whether the stock is going up or down, unless it's just a complete ballistic runner, then you're going to get picked up and you're going to get a price that's worse than what it was at the pre-market. So that's one thing that I never do. All right, so I hope that helps. All right, let's go into the other questions. All right, FRZT, it's sub penny. We're not really KJS. We're not going to do OTC charts today. I'll go ahead and pull it up real quick. Starting either tomorrow afternoon, I'll probably go ahead and pull it up for the morning. But starting tomorrow and Tuesday, we're going to go ahead and put up these scanners, the ones that have OTC on them as well. I recommend knowing what you're doing and OTC, because kind of like off, let me see if there's one that I can example. Not really, and it doesn't, see, it's kind of hard to, I mean, it's easier to chart this, but you can't really get points, and it's been super bullish over since the 7th. Obviously, as you can tell, it's just going up and up and up. Looks like it had a break back down over the past day, 2 days. But it looks to steady be on a rise. You've got a head and shoulders right here on Thursday. You can see you've got your left shoulder there, you got your head here, and a less defined shoulder on your right. That's just on the 5-minute. It might not look like that on the 15 or anything else. So whenever you're getting any patterns like that, you're definitely going to want to know which charting pattern that you're getting on 15-minute, daily, 3-minute, 1-minute, whatever you're looking at, whatever your pattern you're trying to form a strategy off of. All right, so let's see. So yes, we will be doing OTC on the scanners. You will see them pop up. For those that are not on Robinhood and can do OTC, please be very careful. These are way more volatile if you're catching on the scanner runners. We've caught some 20,000 to 30,000% runners before on the scanner when they first started at 100%. And then ran to 20 to 30,000. I know that's kind of extreme to think about, but it was so quick that you would have had to been on it right when you saw the alert pop up. You could have still made 20,000%. But in that same token, you can lose money real quick. I would only recommend on some of these OTCs that will pop up on the scanner, I only recommend scalping. Getting in, getting out, taking your money, hitting the next one. So you will see those pop up starting tomorrow, Tuesday at the latest. Okay, let's get into CYTR. I know a bunch of people are in those. But CYTR, I don't play anything personally through any holds or anything like that, like through any press releases, any conference calls, meetings, earnings reports. I play nothing through it. What I do is I play the momentum up into it. So let's take when I put CYTR, I think the first day of the soft launch, I put CYTR on a swing possibility. Because the reason why I did that is because it was close. I knew that the earnings report was supposedly expected on the 14th, but the ASCO meeting was coming up within the next week, 7 business days, I believe. So I wanted that to be on a swing at 42 cents, which it ended up running to 90 cents. So it ended up being over a 4 or 5 day period of 100% play with scalps all in between. I didn't hold it throughout the full thing, and I don't think anyone else did either. The problem with CYTR is people, I mean, after seeing it run over 100%, we're still thinking, oh, this thing's going to run, this thing's going to run. I mean, you've got to know where the stock is, where the stock's at, and take your profits. And after you see 90 cents, you should sell. And the stock gave you a couple chances to sell it and then come down to 80 cents. You could have rebought, and then it went back up to 90 cents and gave you another chance. It had 2 or 3 testing of 90 as a resistance and did not break. So that should have been a sign of a double top, even a triple top, to kind of exit it. So coming into Monday on CYTR, what I'm looking for personally is now again, what we have is a pre-ER momentum. So you got a pre-earnings report momentum. So right here you have a run from the 7th. This is when it was 48. 48 is the support, and I think it hit this on its fall down from the 90s after its run on the 6th. You have 50. You can have its double touch right here, kind of a mirrored day on the 7th. You can see this almost mirrored day right here. You have your 53 right here, your 53 right here to start the day. To end the day, you have your mirror around 12:30, I believe it was, and yep, it was exactly 12:30. You've got your morning right here, and you've got your afternoon here. As you can see, it leading up into the 8th, complete bullish chart right here. You have your 48 support come up all the way, gets up to 65 cents. That's going to be your high. Probably 65.6 around that area. That's going to be your resistance point. That's going to be your highest resistance point for it to break out like it did before. Right now, you have your intraday support around 54. I'm not saying if it breaks below 54, that's going to be the end all be all. But if it breaks below 50, 53, you should be worried. You should be out probably under the break of 54. And if not, if you're still thinking anything bullish, 50 should be kind of, you already should have been out. And then 48, anything under 48, then the stock's just tanking back to 42, 44. I mean, that's a given. But what's going to make this up? What's going to make or break this chart? It's not as much technicals or anything like that, because no matter where this chart goes in between the next couple of days, what's going to make or break the chart is the earnings reports on the 14th. So this is what I would do with this chart. So I see some accumulation. You see all this volume, heavy volume on Friday. Down here, you can see it hanging around the 55 mark, 54 mark. That's kind of where I would like to get a buy-in at. I don't know if that's going to be possible with the earnings report coming up on Wednesday. But if you start to see this thing churn up, then you've got to play it. This will be a earnings report breakout king. The only thing that has me scared is that it's already went on that previous momentum of ASCO, and it was kind of a big letdown. There wasn't anything great come out in ASCO, but there wasn't any really bad news either. It just didn't validate the over 100% run that the stock had from 42 cents. That's what people don't understand. They're like, why is it dropping? Why is it dropping? It's because that the stock was already up over 100% to get that price point. And when ASCO, the news wasn't 100% worthy of the stock. It was just a meeting that they held, and they came out with some information, a lot of information that people already know that they were just reviewing over, and some information that was pretty good, but it wasn't 100% worthy, and that's why you see the stock adjusted to where it is now, and which makes sense. So right now they're gonna have I'm gonna be playing the pre-R momentum. So if I see anything Monday, I'm jumping right on it. That's something that you all should look into as well. But I will not be holding, no matter what the stock does, to the 14th to try to play that earnings report. All right, let's see what else we got. FNCX. All right, I know Eric said something earlier about Steel X. Busty with your CYTR. I know someone said something about Steel earlier. Generic Eric did. This is a stock that was going up and down. He kind of mentioned earlier that Trump let out a tweet about steel and aluminum. So it's definitely a stock to watch. I've played this stock from, I believe, the 15s all the way up to the 30s, scalping it in between, whatnot. It hasn't been on my radar for a while until the past week or so, because I know that it was on a continuous drop from 30s from its first run. But you kind of have like a midday run here. You can see on the 7th, 8th, it was really bullish. Pretty much so. This one's going to be all dependent on it seems like social media, and it's going to be all dependent on obviously the resources, but I think this is going to do a lot to do with Trump and his tweets. So this is one of those plays that I would play off of social media. It's one of those ones that I would track from social media, and with all that. So I mean, you can see your 2150 being your support. It had a little come up on its second test, and it looks like it stayed at 1257. You have your bell resistance at 2265, but you can kind of see this trend line. I'm putting my hand on the screen because I can't do it with these simple charts, but you can kind of see the trend line where it's going down from its lower highs. You can see that you've got 4 lower highs. It might be starting to do a turnaround from here, because you can see where it catches this. I don't know if it's showing up on your screen, but you can see where it catches the dip, and then it starts to have, there's just not enough information, but you can see where it starts to have higher highs now. You can see where it went all the way down, it kind of evens out right here, and now it starts to have higher highs. So the next one, if the high is right here, let's say the next high breaks 22, and it's 2203, 2202, and then dips again, and if the next one's 2208, then you formed a bullish trend. You have formed a lower lows and a higher high scenario, which would run into Monday. So that would be a good chart to get into. But definitely, anything steel, anything Trump building a wall or whatever Trump's doing with his natural resources or anything like that, you're definitely going to want to pay attention to his tweets. What was that?
AKS.
Yeah, AKS is another one with X as well. That's another steel company. Yeah, that was another one that I used to play when I was playing the steel thing around November when he got elected in December when it was on the run. Yeah. So yeah, AKS is another one. It's a cheaper stock, but it's another steel company for sure. All right, let's pull up FNCX. All right, so FNCX should be pulling up on you all screen right now. Let's see. Ooh, it's ugly. It's got 120K cash. Its debt is 10.8 million, with the revenue only being 3.13 million. Its quarterly is ugly. It's got a float of 6%. Looks like it beat its EPS. because I can only imagine that the analyst looked at its financials and said this is junk, so they probably had a lower EPS than normal. That's just my thoughts. All right, so yeah, this has been another one of those, great plays to scalp, because even though financials are poor, it's not anything that I would definitely hold long. But that doesn't mean that you can't momentum scalp it, get some percentage off of it, stuff like that. As you can see on the daily, let's see, it's kind of kept the same support around that 450 mark. This is obviously way before it gapped down. But it kind of held at 450 last year, going into last year after its huge dip, it seems, in 2015. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's just been on a complete fall all the way back to 2014, 15, 13, 2013. So a reversal has been long overdue. Even when it looks like it had a possible reversal and gapped up all the way to 14, 15, even 1649 was its high. 2015, when it looked like it might have been on a reversal, it just hasn't kept any type of trend. So let's see, we've got the lows at around 34 cents in April. So 35 would be its new built support. Let's see the lows right now. 45, 43. To be honest, let's see. I don't know, because what I'm seeing is one thing, seeing kind of a stock that I would feel kind of safe into holding. This is just looking at the chart, not knowing anything about the stock. It looks like it's coming up from previous lows. It did have this dip from the end of last month into June, into May into June, and it looked like it started to be on a reversal from its lowest low being around 34, 35, come up mid-May around the 12th, 10th, 12th, and then it's kind of dropped down. Kind of have a head and shoulders right here with, I guess, a longer right shoulder. But to me, we'll get into the 5-minute and whatnot. But to me, it does look to be starting a bullish trend. The only thing that concerns me is the end of May to the beginning of June. This big dip off this right extended shoulder. So I wouldn't necessarily, which this has been kind of sideways down, gap up, straight down kind of chart. So to me, it does look like a bullish trend. It did have this hiccup right here. It's going to be interesting to see what it does to here. If it drops below 49, I'd be out. But you can see it testing that dollar point was its major resistance. And it looks like, let me pull up. All right. So let's get into the 5-minute. All right. So yeah, you've got your support in the past 5-day doing almost mirrored image with a longer drop on Thursday into the 43. So that would be your ultimate support. Let's see. Yeah, so that's your ultimate support line is 43. So anything at or around 43 looks to be an awesome buy. As you can see, you have a double bottom here. It's not confirmed with the actual chart. That's just me kind of looking at and seeing two bottoms with this kind of bunched up W. I would have to pull up a more defined chart than this one. This is just looking at it, how it's got these channel showings right here. That's just kind of me, you know, looking at two bottoms right there over, let's see, 25 to 35 minutes. All right, so what I think about FNCX, I think I would put a buy limit at 50 to 49 cents. Let me go ahead and get back zoomed into this thing. I'd put a buy limit around 50 to 49 cents. If it picks up, gives me a spring, I'd go with it. I'd put my sell at 47. This is not something that, even though that I could see that, even though with that extended right shoulder being a dip, that it looked like it was starting to form a reversal, but it's kind of had this hiccup in the road. That's one thing that would scare me. Another thing is its obvious financials are bearish as heck. So this is one that I would definitely be cautious with. It is intriguing and it's kind of got me, you know, that would have a lot of people's eyes on it because it did have that run up to $1, and people see that, and that's why they get stuck holding the bag, or they think it can do it again. I definitely believe that's possible. I'd like to see it keep up above 50 for it to have any chance to keep this bullish trend that it had, besides the dip into the right shoulder on the daily. Looks like your resistance point is going to be 57 on intraday, and let's see if it's tested that before and what happened. Doesn't look like it's ever tested it before, so it looks like this is its built resistance point, and it looks like it tried it once Friday. It tried to get back up there again. It got up to around, well, actually it did it twice, probably around 56.9 the second time, because these charts aren't too defined on here. Probably 56.9 the second time, and it just couldn't break. So that's what I would do. Anything over 57, then it's probably skyrocketing past 60. Support looks to be, you know, plus minus 2 cents on 52. So you'd have about a 50 to 54 channel. Break below 50, 59. Would definitely, if you're buying at 50, I would put a sell stop loss at 47, maybe even 48, to be honest. I would put a tight one here. I'd definitely put it around 48 actually. And if you're buying at 52, I would consider maybe not buying at 52 actually. And less Monday, you know, this is all just looking towards the future. You know, no one knows what's going to happen, what's going to open it up to Monday. All we can do is look at the charts, look at the PR, ER, news that's coming up, and kind of, you know, guesstimate and see what we see. With that said, if it opens up Monday, let's say 52, get some accumulation, 52, kind of sits around that area, doesn't do anything too volatile, you know, but it looks like it's building up bids in the level 2, then definitely 52 would be a buy point then. As of right now, I would kind of lower my buy point and wait to get picked up. I know that can be sometimes, what's the word? It can sometimes be frustrating, but it's better to get a bit good entry than end up holding the bag. Would you short a stock like? Would I short a stock like FNCR? Yes. If that's, I mean FNCX, yes. Would I short it right now? No, definitely not. Nope. No chance. No chance. There's so much better shorts out there. Even as obvious as it is that FNCX has been nothing but a horrible stock, you do not want to short a stock that is starting to build a support and is up from its lowest lows. and its lowest lows, it's really up from its lowest lows over the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks, month. HBIO. NK, any chance on Monday? All right. So we're pulling up HBIO. Oh, this is kind of one of those high frequency speed stocks. I hate these charts. It's like you can't even chart it hardly with these unless you do your extended candles, and then you kind of get a better idea of it. But these have a lot of 5-cent channels. Yeah, let's see on the 5. I mean, it's just hard to chart anything like this. They have these 5-cent channels. You get your extended candles, and you can kind of see better, but it's just nothing's defined. Okay. Let's see. Harvard. It might be a 5-cent tick roll. That definitely, it actually might be. But a lot of these speed trading frequency stocks will have those channels like that. Let's see. All right, so we've got it on the daily. Looks to have the 225 support, so that would be the best buy. It even keeps that all the way up, that 225, all the way to November actually. So 225 to 230, you know, I'm all in here, you know, especially 225. Until I see a break of 225, I would not be bearish on this chart one bit. Would I buy this chart at 260 come Monday? No, probably not. I would probably get it at 245, probably have a buy order at 245 to 250. Let me go in on the 5-minute. Yeah, exactly. Around 245, you have that support right here. You have the drop down spring at 240. 240 would be my buy. I wouldn't buy it at 260. Let's just say that's not wrong. It's just, that's what I'm thinking. Oh, thanks. Well, thank you. See, I'm not even using any indicators right now, and I'm glad that I got that right. All right. I have no indicators pulled up, just to let anyone know we're strictly doing this on volume, support, and resistance today. We'll get into those indicators in the coming weeks. All right. So, Ted, thanks, Pajama. All right. So, Ted, let's look at NK. Sophie or Ted. Let's look at NK. All right, so, hey, so, yep. All right, so NK should be pulling up on your screen. Are you into NK right now? And just to answer, I don't know if you listened earlier, Ted, about CYTR. I know you're in it. I would definitely look into holding it to try to, you know, bank on that earnings report momentum. You have Monday and Tuesday to kind of see what it's going to do. I went over the support levels and whatnot, but I wouldn't hold it through Wednesday. So Wednesday, unless you're just really banking on gambling through the earnings report, then I wouldn't do it. Would I recommend warrants? I recommend warrants. I recommend getting in warrants if you know what you're doing. We've kind of went over, yeah, CYTR you are. I would definitely not hold that past Wednesday unless you're planning on gambling, because the earnings report can really take a stock up or down big time. Warrants, though, I would recommend them if you know what you're doing. You've got to know that the volume is lower. It goes in spurts. With these breakouts that have been going on, it's been a lot different. There's been obviously a lot of volume going in and out. So I would definitely clutch. My top strategy. I prefer day trading, but I mean I don't swing weekends. I don't really long much, so my answer would have to be day. Yeah, $200 at a time. But if you're looking into warrants, I wouldn't really get into warrants if you haven't ever done warrants. And if you did warrants, I would get into them slowly. Also, there's been kind of a breakout. I don't know who's doing it, what's doing it, but there's been a breakout 100% pretty much in these warrants the past week or so. I wouldn't get in one that's already ran unless it's already dropped kind of to that support. But I would definitely, enter one of the warrants that hasn't ran yet. No, I don't mostly short. No, I don't mostly short. I do short, but no, I mostly am a bull. I don't short. I haven't shorted hardly in a while since I've been doing the I wouldn't say advice, but since I've been doing alerts and stuff like that I've been seeing and stuff like that, I've been mostly bull actually. I just told you day trading. All fundamentals. I do technicals. I do fundamentals. Mostly day trade. I swing trade. I do it all. I don't have no number one strategy, as you would say. I don't like to limit myself to one thing. But I love fundamentals. I love playing momentum. I love playing earnings report momentum. I love playing. That's my favorite. And let me see if I can pull that up so I can show you all that. I don't have it. Let's see. I can pull it up. All right, so I put out a watch list. These in Discord. These are. Yes, pajama. Yes, volume is key. That's not to say that I haven't. That's not to say, yeah, volume is always important. That's not to say that I haven't played plays with low volume, because I've played those too. I play those all the time, and those have gapped. Some stocks run off a small volume. But is that the case 90% of the time? No. Volume is important 90% of the time, almost more. That is one of the key indicators. Volume doesn't lie as much as any other indicators will lie to you. Support, resistance, volume is very important. All right, so I'm going to... Do you say doing a screener in today? For the next. I wouldn't say it's key, Pajama. I actually don't use FinViz or anything like that to come up with my next days. Many people do, because they look up short float, market cap, things like that. I do that as well, but I go off of the history of what I know. And what I know, what I've seen, what I've witnessed in stocks that have fundamentally news coming out, technical charts. I like to do everything kind of myself. I just don't pull up stocks off a screener and say, okay, these are it, But if you do, all for you. That's just not me. Yes, I do this full time. This is my job. This is what I do for a living. Um, yes, that's a fine question to ask. I don't believe if I believe if I had a job or my old job, then there's no way I would be able to do this. Thank you, Clutch. Thank you. I've actually traded less and less since I've been putting on this Discord chat and everything, trying to get this up and running. But I still, it's actually kind of made me take a step back, make sure the plays that I do get in are solid plays instead of just playing everything. So it's kind of helped in ways and kind of hurt, but as long as everyone's doing good as a community, I'll be all right. All right, so I'm gonna pull up. I'm going to pull up some of the plays coming up over the next week. Some of the let's see if I can pull it up. And then I'm not going to be on much longer. I've kind of went into an hour and a half breaking. I found this kitten by the house. I don't know if I'm keeping it. I'm not a cat person. I'm more of a dog person, but it's just so cute. I've got to go get some food for it and whatnot. But all right, so let's see. I'm going to go ahead and pull up this. All right, so this is the FDA. You can see the link at the top, BioPharm Catalyst. I love looking at this chart. Yeah, Evo mascot, yeah, for sure. All right, so I always pull this up to kind of, kind of see what kind of drugs are going up. What stages they're in right here. I don't know if you can see me highlighting or whatnot, but it shows what stage it's in, when's the catalyst date. These are all expected though, so a lot of them will be, see like this one, this one's going to be the meeting that's coming out, so that's obviously going to be the exact date, but in presentation that's going to be the exact date. But some of these, like this one, trial data to be released, like this could be on or about the 14th, so don't always think that it's actually the 14th or this one right here. This could be on or about the 9th. But if you just look at some of these, if you research some of their drugs, expected news, anything like that, you're gonna see some of these to have some really big runs. I don't even know in the past. CYTR was on here. I believe it's on here again. It should be on here for the 14th, which it is. It says the 30th. I've got on the 14th, so stuff like this that you got to look at, because it's just stuff like that too. You've got GIMP, GTXI, a couple of ones that I've been looking to is, where's that? PBYI. This was a previous runner that could really make some room. You've got RXII. This is a big pre-R Momo, PR Momo. This one's been running over the past couple days. You've got this XBIT. This one's coming up. I know a lot of people have been playing this, especially with its 66% drop. The other day, it ran all the way down to 280, 275 before it bounced up. So this is definitely one to look into because it might play a big factor. Even though that they discontinued or they actually were recommended to discontinue their phase 3 trials, they've got this phase 2 on the 30th coming up, so that's definitely something to look into. VRX, I think that's been on a lot of people's list as a big runner. You've got a negative 5.58% drop, so that's one that you could see correction, come Monday. These are more the 30th, so these are kind of ones to look into. over the possible future. And it's got all the dates. It doesn't have all of them, but it's got pretty much almost all the biofarm ones. So ones that I would keep an eye on are this one, which should be today, the presentation. So I would definitely put this one on your watch list for Monday. AT&M watch list for Monday. BTX watch list for Monday. Cura, this one I believe ran from $4 or so. So that's definitely a watch list for this week. A couple other ones, ADMP. I've all got these on the watch list. If you go into Discord and look at the watch list on Evo watch list, these are kind of the non-expected watch lists like DCTH, MAC, ASNA, stuff like that. All these are going to be on in that watch list, plus a couple more that I've came up with myself. If you want to get into any of the drugs or anything that they've got coming out, I've been researching these. You can always ask me. Generic, I'm about to get off, man. Too bad. Yeah, RXI, I've been watching it as well. Alright, Eric, hold on. Pulling up Galt now, Eric, for you, just for you. Thank you, Janine. All right. So, Eric, I don't know if you're looking at the daily or not, but you can kind of see from November on, from its, I don't know if you were a part of that crazy volume Galt had around October or so, September, October of last year. It had that insane run. You have it from the, I believe it was 180s, all the way past $3 before it came down. And ever since then, it was on just a bearish trend all the way to the start of November. So right here, you have it, the last red candle gap down, you have met with a green candle, and it was kind of off the face of the map in that period with nothing but a bearish trend right here, as you can tell. And then look, the start has been nothing but, nothing but bullish all the way up. You have this big gap up coming in April. As you can see, it had the correction with back down. If you go ahead and put a trend line, you're going to have, from here, you can see that the trend, I can't put a line, obviously.
Hey, Kramer.
What's up?
Your YouTube is covering the charts.
Ah, thanks. All right. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, that probably can't see what I'm looking at then. I'm just talking and going, huh? All right. Okay. All right, let me fix that. All right. All right. Yeah, sorry about that. I'll go ahead and go over it again real quick. So what I was saying is, you have all that insane volume last year around September to October. You obviously have the bearish trend all the way from when it hit 180 to $3. It came all the way down. You can see where it had the correction. It has the green candle met with the gap down. Then it starts to take off on this bullish trend that it has been on. Let me go ahead and fix it. Let's see if it's on there now. Nope. All right. So you can kind of see there, all the way from the start of the year. It even started back in November. It's been nothing but on a bullish trend. So if you go ahead and you take a trend line all the way from here, you go straight up. It's on a perfect trajectory. So like I was saying, this is definitely one of the long plays that I have set out. I believe it will retest $3 over a long period, over the next month or so, at least 2 to 3 weeks till you get over that 255, 260 to 280 mark, into $3. Let me go ahead and see if I can't put my cursor over it. I know it hit 275 and then kind of corrected itself. But you have here, you have a trend line all the way. You would bust up, it comes up, and then goes straight through there. And you can see kind of where it touched those lows on the line. It's a little bit off, but it would go kind of right under, and it almost touched. And you've got it going all the way up. So as long as it's through that kind of channel that it's on, this in April, that big gap up didn't go with the actual trend, but I could see that having it be like that with such the bullish trend that it was on. I can see the accumulation and the breakout, starting to form. And then it's just kind of came down, corrected itself. It's still on a bullish trend. You've had these spikes up. You still got, since mid-May, you still have higher highs on the chart, and you have higher lows. Higher highs, higher lows, bam, what more can you ask for? All right. Would I say I'm a fundamental or technical trader? I would say I am both. I mean, I look at fundamentals as much as I use the technicals. I use ER, PR, conferences, and stuff like that just as much as I look at charts. Use moving averages, VWAP, volume confirmation, support, resistance, the itch cloud, EMA, SMA, MACD, RSI. I use it all, and then I will go and I'll confirm it with news. What I don't use is I'm on that lag just now here, and you busted my balls. That was like a minute or 2 minutes ago. But what I don't use is which maybe it's something that you all will use, NR3, NR5, NR7. Those are one of the indicators that I don't use. But you all can look into those. There's a bunch of them, oscillators. There's a bunch of stuff that I don't use, but I use a lot of it, and I don't ever let one indicator throw me off of a play that I'm going to get into. Let's say if I think it's got fundamentals, or if I see 3 technical indicators showing me that the stock's going to rise, and then someone's like, oh, well, the RSI is at 65, or the RSI is at 60, or even 70. I just don't let one indicator throw me off of a chart that I believe and other indicators verify that it's going to be bullish. That RSI might be in place for someone that's going to be holding over the next week, but don't let that throw you off of a chart that you're looking to scalp or play for the next day, 2 days even. Maybe kind of confirm it with other indicators if you're looking to swing it over 3 days. I would definitely look into that, but anything under that, I would go with what you see. Go off the chart and not your emotions. Go off the news. Quantity size with the account. So are you meaning like should you do 10% of your account and a stock, stuff like that? They have tables in Google Sheets that you can put out there. I guess I'll post one that'll let you know how many shares to buy of what. You can type it in and it'll tell you You can also put that in on some of your charts that you can put in, 10%, 20%, 30%. You can type in how many shares of a company. It'll give you what percentage of your account size will do that. I don't really do that myself personally. It depends on what I'm doing. Say if I'm swinging something and I just don't, what was it? Like the other day, like DCTH, was it an account size that I did to do that? No, I just put $300 in DCTH because I didn't feel it at all. I felt like it could potentially, make my $300 be another $300 more than it could make my $300 be, $150. So I just put a small amount on that. Other swing plays, I usually play around $2,000 worth. I'll put in like 2 swing plays that I put on Elite Swings. There's really no percentage that I go with. Say for Naked the other day, I put 5,000 shares. It had nothing to do with my account size. It's just I kind of weigh my risk of what I believe the stock is going to do from what I'm seeing. And what I'm seeing I let what I'm seeing kind of confirm how much I'm going to get into the account is. I don't know how to say it, but it's just something that I guess when you've been doing it for a long time, you kind of get a feel for it, and you know what you want to play where. My exit, if resistance isn't confirmed by volume, then my exit is always right under resistance. If it's confirmed by volume, then I'm sticking in for the break of resistance. Yeah, exactly. The ones that I have the least confident. No, I don't know. I don't all in anything. My exits, I usually get my points that I don't make points for every stock either. I get my points in. No, if it breaks resistance, then I'm staying in. If it breaks resistance, I'm staying, in another 10 cents, another 20 cents, depending on the actual size of the, like if it's a $10 stock, obviously, if it breaks resistance, it'll be like I'll stay in an extra 30 cents or so, 40, 50 cents. If it's a dollar stock, when it breaks resistance, I'll stay in another 5 cents. Yeah, I don't sell out my entire account on anything. I usually make points, stick to my points, and go there. All right, guys. Any more question? I'm about to get off. Let's have a crazy day tomorrow. Let's really make this money. I believe there's going to be some real plays. I'm going to go ahead and try to put a lot of the alerts. I'm going to @ everyone in the chat. They're going to be in Evo alerts on the chat. They should come to your cellular phone. Let me go ahead and, if you press the Evolution Trading at the top, you press the click down, you'll have notification settings. You click on that. If you go ahead, you can put rooms you want to be mentioned in or whatnot. You want to set it to only mentions in mobile push notifications. That way you will get every time it's someone @ everyone's, which that's how I will be doing the in-chat Evo alerts. This has nothing to do with the Evo alerts that are going to be coming to your phone or email. But yes, mobile push. You want to turn on that. So those, if you're not on voice and you're not seeing on the scanner, or I'm not saying them on voice, you will be able to get them to your phone through the Discord chat. We also have another Evo alert system coming out that we're going to be using to your phone, email, or computer. But what we're going to be testing out tomorrow is these mobile alerts. So you go up to the top of Discord, which I will be posting a picture from my phone that I will screenshot. You go up to the top, press Evolution Trading. You go down notification settings. You turn on mobile push notifications, and you don't want all messages on or nothing on. You want only @ mentions. And definitely have the main trading room on mentions. Make sure Evolution Trading is not muted, because then you will not get any of them. Cryptocurrency is awesome. It's been nothing but booming. We went ahead and made a chat available for cryptocurrency. I will move it up. It's all the way at the bottom right now. I'll go ahead and move cryptocurrency up with the other chats. So it will be right under OTC sub penny. It's about 5 rooms down from the main trading room. No problem, Eric. Awesome. Yeah, that sucks. 275 would have been a decent exit just to scalp real quick. But you could see where it had that correction down to 245. As long as it keeps on that trend line and doesn't break, far below without any type of spring or jump back correction, then, that's the time to get out. But as long as it's on this line, you should run that all the way up to $3. And then that's going to be your big test of its last resistance point for, then you're making new highs. Alrighty. Well, I will see y'all tomorrow. I'll still be in the chat on and off. Gonna go get this cat some food. You all take it easy. I will have the stream set up for pre-market in the morning. I'll go ahead and put out a watch list again tonight. The other watch list is in it. Awesome trade map. Thank you so much for thanking me. Thank you. Motivated. I appreciate it. I really want this to grow into the best community out there, and can't do it without you all. So thank you all. All right, so I'm gonna get out of here. All right, thank you. All right, so I'm gonna get out of here. It's been fun. Thank you, thank you, and I'll see y'all in the morning. Let's seriously make some money. That's what we're here for. Yes, I actually started recording it late, Eric. I'm sorry about that. I will put out, I guess, I started recording it halfway in. I don't even know if this recording thing works yet, so bear with me as I try to figure it out. If it did record, then I will post it onto the site, or I'll post it up on Facebook. Alright, I'll see y'all tomorrow.